Hi, Scorpio. Welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your mid-January 2023 love reading. Thank you to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's what I call the bridge and the gap spread. And the way it works is a look at the past, present, and future energies between you and the main love interest. Once we get through all that, we'll pull some oracle cards as well for some additional insight, and that's where the bridge and the gap dynamic comes into play. And as far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, on the right side we have the Romantic Tarot. And also keep in mind it's a general reading, so I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as the energy and the cards on the right as the other person's. If you feel like it's the other way around in your personal situation, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that out of the way, we'll get started. Past energy on your side, we have Temptation. So this is actually the equivalent of the devil in traditional tarot. And if we just look at the artwork there, right, could just be saying that in the past, something or someone might have pulled you away from the connection with this person. Alright, past energy on their side, we have the Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords energy typically represents some kind of healing, right? So to me, to see this almost makes me think of like the double dating dynamic, which I don't know if anyone ever does that anymore, but that's kind of the impression I get here, where maybe their friends were encouraging them to come back out, right? Like, okay, maybe they were reluctant to do so. They were like, oh, you could come out with me and, whoever I'm with and things along those lines. But I feel like this is saying that friends might have been encouraging them to get back out there in some way after you left the connection. All right, present position on your side, excuse me, we have Wisdom. So this is actually the equivalent of the High Priestess. And to see this here, I feel like this is saying that you guys are probably just trying to scope them out from a distance, right? And see, like, okay, are they open to me coming back around or not, right? So I feel like there's not necessarily open communication between the two of you right now, but you could just be trying to figure out if they would even be open to you coming back around at this time. Okay, present energy on their side, we have Death in reverse. So, Death card actually represents Scorpio energy, but to see this in reverse could just be saying that on the one hand, they might have lost faith that the connection could come back together, but at the same time, I feel like they're not fully ready to leave it behind, so I feel like it could just be saying that they still have a little bit of hope that maybe something could come back around within the connection, but at the same time, thinking in their minds in a more realistic sense, it probably wouldn't happen. But I mean, if we look at the way that she'd be facing with the way the card was in the spread, she would be looking in that direction too. So yeah, like I said, they might feel like practically it makes sense to leave it behind, but there could just be something in them that's making it hard to completely release at this time. All right, future energy on your side, we have the Ace of Staves. So this is the equivalent of the Ace of Wands, and could just be saying that, yeah, you do want to actually initiate a new start with this person. Now, aces, I always point out to people, are more of an idea of something as opposed to a true indicator of you taking action on that idea. But based on what you observe, maybe you pick up on the fact that it doesn't look like they have completely released the connection, and then that might actually spark something in you to where you feel like, okay, there's at least a chance I could take action and get the connection back off the ground. All right, and future energy on their side, we have the Ace of Pentacles. So openness to a fresh start here as well, but notice the difference between the Pentacles and the Wand energy, right? So if you're thinking more along the lines of passion within the connection, they might be open to it to an extent, but I feel like they might also want to see something more tangible and stable, right? As an indicator that, okay, I just want to make sure I could take Scorpio seriously, right? Especially if you did leave the connection behind in the past. So that's what it looks like they'll be coming from. All right, and bottom of the deck. On your side, we have the Strength card, and this is the Major Arcana card for Leo. And to see this here, again, to me, is indicative of the passion that you might feel for this person, right? And that could be what you're driving your decision making around the connection at this time. But at the same time, I do feel like you do see the potential for you guys to actually grow, but it's just more of a passion-led connection at this time. And bottom of the deck on their side, we have the King of Pentacles. So Taurus energy here. So yeah, like I said, this could just be one of those things where they might be open to it too. We do see the Star card beneath that as well. So I feel like there is an openness on their part to an extent, but they just might want to see something a little bit more tangible on your side before they invest again, right? Like I said, obviously it would make sense if you did leave the connection behind and are still not fully over that, right? They just might want to see something from you that says, okay, I could actually take you seriously before they fully open up again. All right, moving on to the Oracle cards. First, we'll see what we get from the Moonlight deck. I did pre-shuffle this deck before we started recording. What we're going to be looking for here is unspoken messages from you to them, and then from them to you. Initially looking for jumpers, but if I shuffle for a while and anything coming up, I'll just put the deck down and we'll pull cards that way. Right, already got one there for you. And next, we'll see what we get from them to you. Got one there. Okay, so let's see. On your side, we have sadness. It says, I feel like I've lost you and I'm not coping well with it. So yeah, that definitely seems to fit the storyline of what we were saying there, right? Especially, like I said, in the present, you could be observing them to see, like, hey, are they with someone else? So this could be something that might have happened a while back, too, to be fair. Given that this Mercury retrograde we have right now is in Capricorn, that can point to things that are from quite a ways back as opposed to 2-3 weeks ago or even a couple months ago. So, yeah. So you might not even know what's going on in their lives at this time. All right. And on their side, we have Mountain. It says, something or someone is standing in between us right now. So, yeah, to see that could just be, now for one, to be fair, that could be their wound around the past, right? That could be the mountain that's standing between you. But at the very least, this is saying that they acknowledge that, yeah, there is something that's blocking the connection at this time. Like I said, it looks like with that death card in reverse, that's the impression I get, that they, like, on the one hand, they don't have faith really that the connection could get back together, but they're not at the same time fully ready to let it go, you know? So it looks like there could be some hope there, especially given that we see the aces in the future on both sides. But like I said, it looks like you just might need to show them that they could take you seriously this time around. All right. And lastly, we'll pull a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. Same situation as far as I pre-shuffled this deck as well, but here I'm just looking for one card for general advice to wrap the reading up with. Oh, got one there. Okay, so let's see what you got. Okay, we have Imagine. There's the artwork, and the number is 20, which interestingly enough, 20 in tarot is actually the judgment card, which often points to things coming back around. But see what it says in the book. Okay, it says, in matters of the heart, it's easy to daydream about another as a means of connecting to that person. While that's romantic, if you want this relationship to be real, you need to go for it, not just dream about it. Now's the time to move beyond the daydream and into reality, beyond illusion and into fruition. Relationships are about relating, so step out onto the dance floor where imagination partners with manifestation. The message of this card is that a person with attributes you have imagined will enter your life. You'll be changed for the better. Imagine that. So yeah, that could just be pointing more to the wisdom energy where, like I said, it looks like you're trying to observe them, but I don't feel like you're necessarily communicating with them directly at this time. So if that's the case, hopefully that message resonated with you guys. We'll wrap up there and we'll see you all next month. All right, bye.